Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at Toxtricity Box. Unfortunately, this deck seems to be going rather well for me, but I keep running into grass decks, which, as you can see, I've got a good chunk of grass-weak Pokemon in this deck, so not been fun, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. So as per usual, in the description below there's going to be usual links, double the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play, and of course the outro and what I think of the deck. So of course, once again, we're taking a look at Toxtricity. This guy is going to be very useful in the Wheel of Pain, I can tell you that much. And yeah, he's a pretty good card. Obviously, accelerating Dark Energy to one of our bench Dark Pokemon, putting damage on it, and then of course, we get to play everyone's favourite Munkidori. You know, like this card is arguably one of the best additions we've had in terms of energy acceleration. Obviously, it is a Stage 1 Dark type, but we can live with that, you know, like, it's one of those where we can deal with it because, you know, putting damage on a Pokemon is bad, but we can just move it off with Monkey and accelerate our damage even further. Also, we can play Brute Bonnet in here, which is actually a pretty correct card. Obviously, we do need Monkeys established to really get this guy going the best way, but Brute Bonnet can hit some insane numbers, and it's very useful to have. It is also an ancient target, but, you know, maybe I could cook something up with Roaring Moon plus, you know, the Bonnet, have like an ancient sort of engine, but then still have the Toxtricities for accelerating energy to the Dark Pokemon. Then you can play Monkey, you know, like, maybe that could be something I'll look into in the future. But no, we're also playing Mega Absol in here, and the amount of times I've been one-shot for 3 prizes is actually rather concerning since I got into Arceus League. I've played 2 matches in Arceus League, and both have been grass decks, so that's been very fun. We also have Seviper in here as a good single prize attacker. And of course the 3-3 line of the Toxel. We also have Roaring Moon in here. Like I said, maybe an ancient idea with the Toxtricities could be something. And for the sake of Avatar Clash, we are playing Okidogi EX. I've not been able to attack with this dude, but I've been able to use Poisonous Musculature. But the Chain Craze attack is actually pretty good in combination with Gravity Mountain in this list. It means with Binding Mochi, Okidogi is hitting 300 damage, which means, for those that haven't worked it out yet, Gravity Mountain onto a Stage 2 like Dragapult or Charizard EX can be one-shot by the Dogi, which is pretty good. And if we throw in the likes of Munkidori into that, we can even take out a Mega Charizard with just one hit. We're unfortunately a bit short on a Mega Venusaur, but if we had double Monkey established and plenty of damage in play, it could be possible. But yeah, so far I've been running into a lot of grass decks and it's not been particularly fun. But obviously there is still room to improve this list. I'll discuss that in the deck list, which we'll go to now. But honestly, not a lot really needs to change. So let's go to the deck list and let's have a quick look. And welcome to the deck list. So as I said, this list has been running into a lot of grass decks, which, I'll be honest, there's not really many ways about it. Like, you could get Okidogi down in that situation. But, trust me, the grass decks with Teal Mask will hit over an Okidogi, even with a charm. So, don't count on that, is all I'll say. But, like I said, the only major things I would consider adding is a Vessel, which I've not felt the need to add one yet, although I am debating it. Another thing as well is cutting a charm for, what did I say in the, because I've been testing this, like, what did I think to myself? Cut a charm for a Turo would be another good idea. Because obviously charms are mainly here for Absol, because obviously Absol's quite spongy for a 3-price Pokemon. 280's relatively spongy. But yeah, it honestly just depends. Like, there's not a lot to really consider here. So as I said, we're playing the 3-3 line of the Toxtricity, 2 Mega Absol, 2 Munkidoris, 2 Pecharunt to give us free retreat. Well, essentially free retreat. 1 Seviper, 1 Roaring Moon, 1 Okidogi, 1 Fezandipiti, and 1 Brute Bonnet. Then we're playing 4 Arven, 3 Lillies, 2 Iono, 2 Boss, 4 Nest Ball, 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Super Rod, 2 Energy Switch, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Enhanced Hammer. This is to play around any missed energy that's running around, because then we can use Terminal Period a bit more. 1 Prime Catcher as our A-Spec. I couldn't really decide on an A-Spec, so I just went with Prime. 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Buddy Poffin. This only stretches out the Toxels. This just gives us added consistency. 2 Bravery Charm, 2 Binding Mochi, 1 TM Evo, and of course 2 Gravity Mountain. Then, of course, again, the Dark Energy count, I literally just copied it from the Sharpedo list I did. 9 just felt pretty safe, because obviously we are playing a lot of attackers that have free energy cost. So it's just good to have a decent number of Dark Energy, so that way we can Super Rod and stuff like that. And if we prize a couple, it's not a major deal. But yeah, like I said, the only major considerations I consider is a Turo and a Vessel. Not felt the need for either, because obviously I have the Pecharunt for retreating options. But obviously in some matchups you're not always going to put down the Pecharunt, so that's just something to bear in mind. So a Turo would probably go pretty hard in this list. As for the Vessel, that could be pretty nice, but again, just something to consider really. So let's go to the games, I should say, and I'll see you in game 1. And welcome to the first game. Fingers crossed, because like I said, I got into Arceus League, that's why I'm at 1472 in Arceus. And I ran into 2 grass decks. More specifically, Tealmass Turbo and Eevee Box with 2 Leafeon in it. Spoiler alert as to what he attacked with the most. Needless to say, his Flareon just sat there on the bench looking pretty. That's about all it did. But yeah, this is definitely like a fun deck. I don't think it's as good as Sharpedo, but that's just my opinion. We will definitely start the Okidogi, because he can charge himself up. Duskull. I do like the Pikachu balloon sleeves. We should get a Pikachu EX with like these balloons involved. It's Dragadusk, okay. This could be interesting. So I'm going to bench a Monkey. I'm going to Ultra Ball away Munkidori plus the, Iono. I think I'll just grab, no, I'll grab a Toxel. We're not prized any of the Toxels, at least. We haven't prized any of our attackers, which is good. We've got a boss in the... Did we discard a boss? No, so we've got a boss in the prizes. Other than that, looks pretty fine to me, so we'll grab a Toxel. So we'll do that, and then we'll Iono. We're not going to use either of these cards right now. We don't need to. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. So we can Nest Ball or Petch in case they try anything. I'm going to attach the Okidogi. I'll bench the Bonnet as well, and I will Poisonous Musculature. Accelerating 2 Dark Energy to the Okidogi EX, and he poisons himself. Which means, by the time it comes back to our turn, we'll have a couple of damage counters to move around with the Monkey. Which means more pressure. There's an Ultra Ball. Get rid of Iono and Dragon Ball. You need another Dreepy down at the very minimum, mate. Okay, Latias. Not sure why you're grabbing that, because that is a 2-prize liability in this matchup. Ah, you're going to Badoo. Okay, that's fine. Because then I can just go attach the Monkey, Adrenabrain 3 off, or that. I mean, as long as I find a Dark Energy, I'm not really bothered. Okay, we do find a Dark Energy per se, but not the way I wanted to do it. I need a top deck of the Dark Energy, which would be really nice. He's not going to pop the Clops yet, I know that for certain. You'd be very daft to, but I'd love a top deck of Dark Energy. That'd be really nice. Because then by the time, obviously, damage counter goes over, I can Munkidori take this out, and then maybe something can go from there. And that is a beautiful top deck. We will take that, so we'll do that. Evolve you. Bench the Toxel. Charm the Dogi, just to give it a bit more punch. And we will Adrenabrain. Take out the Badoo. Boss off the prizes. No, that's fine. I can live with that. It's going to be a Dreepy, that's fine. So I will start setting up my Bonnet, because Bonnet is really good in this matchup. Because I only need to put 6 damage on a Dragapult and then I just nuke it to oblivion. So I'm going to put the Mochi on it as well. And then, yeah, Chain Craze 260. Take out the Dreepy. He definitely should not have gone for the Latias, and yeah, he's just conceded. You definitely should not have gone for the Latias. Like, I understand you want to item lock and everything like that, but clearly I'm the main character today because, you know, I top decked a Dark Energy when, you know, I don't play a Vessel, and, well, I had no energy to recover from the discard. And even if I did, this little bugger decided to item lock me. But No, definitely shouldn't have grabbed the Latias there. I was able to take 2 prizes there, so that was pretty easy. But no, let's go to game 2. And welcome back to game 2. That went a lot better than the previous games I've played, I can assure you that much. Honestly, that went pretty smoothly, you know, like we managed to take 2 prizes there in that turn because of them for some reason going with the Badoo. I mean, I understand it and everything, like Iono plus Badoo is pretty good, but like, you know, my hand wasn't really doing too much, and like I didn't do a lot, I just poisonous musculatured. You know, like, I didn't really do a lot, so them actually Ionoing me didn't really benefit them. But hey, I mean, I'll take the win if you're going to give me a free concession. Ooh, starting the Mega when I don't know what I'm facing, although it is probably Charizard. And yep, it's Charizard. That's fine, we can deal with that. Not the worst thing in the world, but, you know... Oh, it's not Talzard. Okay, this should be interesting. Nest Ball for Charmander. That's fine. Nest Ball probably for Fanrotom, because I would imagine you play one. If you don't, I was going to say... I'd be very worried if you didn't play a Fanrotom. Genuinely, I'd be worried. There we go, double Hoot, which means they've probably got Noctowls in hand. I'd love to Iono you, but I don't have one. So, come on, TCG Live, give me a break. Heart of the cards. Come on, give me a top deck of an Iono. That'd be beautiful. Let's see what happens. No, genuinely, that'd be insane if I top deck that, but probably not going to happen. But no, like, so far this this Toxtricity box deck has been quite fun to build and make. Like I said, there's not really a lot I'd change about it. Well, looks like we're Arvening. That's fine with me, though. So we'll grab Buddy Poffin and an Evo. So I'll Buddy Poffin. I'll check how many Toxels we've got in the Toxtricities we've got in the prizes. Good, I can get rid of this one in hand then. That's fine. Otherwise, how many dark we've got prize? We've got 2 dark in the prizes. That's fine. I did that so I didn't have to muck around going through the menu again. We have prized Fez, but I can live with that. But yeah, at least I can use this Ultra Ball and get rid of this Toxtricity. I don't need to worry about that, so that's good. So now I can grab another attacker, because obviously we will need them in this matchup. I'm going to grab Moon, because Moon's pretty good in this matchup. So we'll do that. Technical Machine Evolution. Don't attach Bravery Charm, Joe. Make yourself look like a jackass. And then we will Evo both Toxels. Oh, don't do this thing again. Is that clicked? I'm going to assume it is. It is. Good. I hate that bug, because like, sometimes it makes it look like this Toxtricity wasn't going to become a Toxtricity of the Evo. So you have to be so careful. PCG Live needs to update that, like, urgently. But I digress. I digress. I'm just discussing a few cards and stuff. But because obviously we've had a few new cards released. Ultimately, I think some of the megas that have been released, like the Feraligatr, the Emboar, the what's the other one, Meganium, actually looks pretty good. But honestly, like, Feraligatr looks really good. It's 200 plus 200 if your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on it. I was thinking, like, playing standard Feraligatr with, like, Munkidoris and Luminous Energy and stuff, Crispins and the like. But then you just slip a 1 or 2 of the, you know, like, you slip 1 or 2 of the, what's it called? The Mega into the list, and then you can Munkidori damage off, put it onto your opponent's active Pokemon, because obviously you use the Feraligatr to, you know, like, do stuff. Are they really going double knocks? This is crazy. Unless you're, like, going into... Then again, no, Megazard wouldn't do it. Megazard would be short. So I don't know what my opponent's doing here. Buddy Poffin Maximum Belt. Again, you're not able to knock out my dude, so I don't know what you're doing. Hang on, no, he might be able to. 240... Yeah, he can do it with Terrapagos. That's actually pretty clutch. He needs a Fire Energy, but he can do it. He can do Terrapagos plus Maximum Belt to actually take out my Absol here. But obviously, I had to put the Charm on it, because, you know, And yeah, he's got the Jet Energy. He can take this out. That is correct. Terrapago's doing some work, man. Man's cooking. Well, with our Fez prize, that's going to make things very awkward. That's for sure. That was a really good turn for my opponent there. I must admit that. Alright, so there's not a lot I could realistically do here. I can definitely thin the Mochi. I mean, what can I do here, realistically? Like, if I Nest Ball for something, I still fall short. I don't really have an attacker that can deal with this Terrapagos right now. That can actually, do something here. Like, I can go Seviper, but, Seviper doesn't do any damage. Okidogi is a one-off of actually doing it, and even then I'd need more support. Yeah, this isn't looking good. That turn 2 Terrapagos is putting in some serious work. Because I can't put another Mega Absol down. That's just a given. I can't do it, because, I will just lose it. I can't Petch into Petch. So that's another thing to consider. I can grab the EX, I guess. It's something to consider. I'll then send us a Surge to the Dogi. I'll do it again. Like, we lose to Megazard if this is the case, but, I've got to try and do something here. I can't just sit on my backside and do nothing. So, I'm going to do that. If they have the Gust for the Okidogi, it is what it is. And they do because it's Pidgeot. They can just quick search for Boss and take out the Oki, because then we just lose after that. We're 5 prizes down. Genuinely, I did not expect Terrapagos to do this much, and yeah, he's got the Clops as well, so this just feels even worse. Has he got the Boss for the Dogi? I'd be very worried if he didn't. Show me the Boss. And there it is. We're going to concede. Nothing I can do in that matchup. No way. Not with a turn 2 Terrapagos Jet Energy Maximum Belt. Full board of 8 one-shotting an Absol. That was a crack turn for my opponent. So GG to you. Let's go to a game 3. And welcome back to game 3. That was not very smooth for me is all I'll say. Turn 2 Jet Energy into Terrapagos. Plus freaking Maximum Belt. That is just crazy. That is genuinely crazy. I've not seen a turn like that in a long time, but hey, my opponent got to do it, so, it's just one of them things, isn't it? Oh well, things happen, it's PTCG Live. This game can be shaky at times, but sometimes it can just give you moments that you'll remember, it's not always going to be sunshine and butterflies and you're going to win every match, Oh, we're going first. Okay, that should be fine. That should be fine. Let's see what we get. Starting the freaking Absol again. It's not happening, Chief. I'm not starting an Absol again. Not after that grass deck I ran into and it one-shotted me turn 2. With a charm. Okay, no, I thought it was Lucario. But no, it's not. That's fine. So, Buddy Poffin, grab 2 Toxel. We've prized Fez again. Oh, no, Fez is in the active Joe. Duh! Yeah, I'm sleepy still, so do excuse my crap prize checking and stuff like that. That's fine. Yeah, we've got 2 Dark Energy in hand. I can deal with that. That's fine. So we'll do that. Pass. That's fine by me. Because then at least we can Arven for TM Evo if my opponent takes a bit to set up. So I'm not particularly worried about that. But no, so far this deck's been pretty alright. I don't think it's top tier because, Sharpedo just hits those numbers that, if you play the maximum belt, that is. And obviously Hero Escape is also pretty good in Sharpedo. Okay, Fan Rotom. That doesn't give a lot away. This could be the bunnies, though. The Exploding Bunnies deck. And it is. Okay, that's fine. Do you have Jet onto the Ditto? You do indeed. Looks like we're going to have our work cut out this matchup. I mean, it feels bad to waste a jet energy on this, but, you know, you're thinning a card out for Kang, I guess. And so that's at least something, because for those that don't know, it actually discards the jet energy, so he's only got 4 energy now, and there's no way to recover them. But hopefully that doesn't work out too much for my opponent. There goes the jet energy. He's going into Badoo, interestingly enough. That's very interesting. Not something I'd expect in this list, I must admit. I don't see Badoo very often in these lists, so it caught me a bit off guard there, but still. Obviously, the ghosts are quite annoying. Oh, you've got to be joking me. You had the Jamming Tower as well? Oh, great. That's really going to set our plans back. Not as much. I can do that. I can Arven at the very least. We'll thin out the Prime, and we'll thin out the Bravery Charm, I guess. You know, we might as well. So then I'll send us a Surge. Put it on the Mega Absol. I'll put the Charm there just so I have it out of my hand, and then I'll pass. Like, top deck Monkey, or like, top deck Lillies or something, so I can find Dark Energy plus Munkidori. Would go pretty hard right now. Because then I can prime up this Baneri and then snipe a card. In fact, no, I'd probably want to get rid of Pidgeot, realistically. Like, get rid of Pidgeotto, but don't think that's going to happen, because they're going to get Ultra Ball for the... no, they're not grabbing Pidgeot. Okay, sure. Are you going straight in with the Jet Energy into the Fez? You are. Okay, that is fine. That is completely fine. Goes for us 230. That's fine. Very aggressive move from my opponent there. I don't agree with it, but, well, I don't make the rules now, do I? There's Moon. Moon's good, but only with a charm on it, because obviously it can be one-shot by Gilfrost. So what I'm thinking here is I Ultra Ball, because obviously Fez is now in the discard pile. The thing is, though, I have to get rid of Prime to actually do that. But to be fair, I have to get rid of Prime anyway, because, you know, I might have to do this. But then again, I can just Super Rod, Ultra Ball back for Fez. Yeah, I think I have to do it. It sucks losing my Ace spec, but I think I have to do it for the sake of draw. Feels rough, but I have to do it. I need draw. I can't just sit here on my backside. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be happy seeing that go in the discard pile. So we'll do that. I can actually grab Monkey now. I don't know why I attached to the Toxel. I could have just grabbed Pech instead, but well, I don't have a lot of choice here, folks, that's for sure. So then we'll retreat into the Absol. Claw of Darkness. They're 10 damage short of actually taking me out here. I think I'll get rid of Enriching, because, in fact, no. Switch is probably better. Then again, it doesn't really matter what I get rid of, because they could just Hilda for Dusclops to take me out. Yeah, we get the emote spam now. This is a hard hand to decide. I think, basically, I get rid of Hilda. They'll just draw 4 off of thingy anyway. I could have gotten rid of Enriching to, like, you know, do that, per se, but, you know, they are 10 damage off. So that's something to consider. They are 10 damage off, but they can just go Ultra Ball. This is the issue, like, this deck doesn't hit the numbers of what Sharpedo can. Because, like, in my Sharpedo list, this would have been, like, if this was obviously, you know, Sharpedo, I would have had maximum belt on it. I could have then potentially gotten Dark Energy onto Munkidori. I wouldn't have to attach here 3 times. And then I could have knocked this Absol out. So, you know, like, there's a lot to consider when it comes to these lists. So just bear that in mind if you do play this deck. It doesn't feel as good as what you think it is. It's a nice deck. But, like I say, when they've got Dusknoir, and I suspect they've probably got some way to, you know, get Rare Candy Dusknoir and just devastate my board even further. You know, it just feels rough, and, like, this matchup is pretty much unwinnable because of that. You know, like, they've got the bunny, which attacks for 1 energy, does 230. He's got the jamming tower. And yeah, there's the Clops. So there's nothing I can really do here. He can Clops to the Absol. I then lose a prize. Yeah, this is so rough. But unfortunately, this is just how my games have been going with this deck. It just doesn't feel as good as what I thought it would be. But like I said, Diamond Domain wanted me to take a look at it. But ultimately, mate, just play Sharpedo. It's much better. I think Sharpedo is just so much better. It just hits the more numbers that you need. Like 270 is a good number to hit. Plus Max Belt, plus Monkey Ping. You take out a Lopunny. You know, like, you take out Charizard. You know, like, there's a lot more that that Sharpedo can do. Let's go for the boss, interestingly enough. He's going to boss the Tox and try and trap me. No, he's going for the Toxel. Okay, no, I do see the reasoning here. Because then all you need is Mega Absol for game. I appreciate that. That's respectable. Well, we do need Gust for this Lopunny. That's for sure. That is definitely not going to be Gust. So, I'm going to Thin with the Sinister Surge first. I'll just put it on the Fez, because at least I have free retreat. Essentially, anyway. Fez for 3. I need a boss or something. And that is not a boss. Yeah, we just lose here. There's nothing I can do. Because like I say, if I attack this, he just takes me out with Dusclops plus Mega Lopunny. So, you know what? Let's go down to style. Claw Darkness. It doesn't matter at this point. We just lose. Just to get rid of it, I guess. We lose anyway, because he just comes up, he blows this up. Not finding a Stadium Bump neither, which there's one of them. Just makes it impossible for me to win here, because all he does is just go Curse Blast onto the Absol, free retreat into the Bunny, and then that's game. So, yeah. I'll let him have it. He's not BMing, he's actually, you know, he's actually playing his cards right. You know, he's not wasting my time. And there we go, that is game. Not much I can do in a matchup where I'm limited by Jamming Tower, Ghost, and Bidoof. Which again, Sharpedo could have probably won that, even with those downsides, because Sharpedo doesn't rely on stadiums and stuff like that. But no, like I said, it's all well and good having Mega Absol in the list, but I just feel like, you know, this deck isn't as good as you think it will be. But hey, that's just the nature of the game. So, what do I think to the deck? Ultimately, I think this deck falls short in a lot of areas. It doesn't hit relevant numbers. It doesn't really have, you know, like, a large amount of one-hit KO potential. Obviously, I am playing the Bonnet, I am playing the Maroon Moon, but I just think overall, it's a deck that just falls short in quite a few areas. And that's what holds it back. At least with Sharpedo, you can play Maximum Belt, you can still play Munkidoris, you can still play Aurora Moon if you want, like I do. You can still play, you know, you can still play the Seviper, you can still play the Brute Bonnet, you know, you have those options still. But unlike the Absol, you can actually hit relevant numbers. Yes, sniping cards out if you can do it that early is well and good. But relying on a stage 1 for your energy acceleration isn't good, like, meta-wise, you know? Like, there is some exceptions to that rule. Like, very few exceptions to that rule, I should say. But, you know, like, most of the top-tier decks, like, either accelerate energy to themselves, i.e. Charizard. They either require very little energy to get going, where you can play an A-spec that covers that, i.e. Dragapult. And, you know, ultimately, I think the 3 energy costs on a lot of the attackers that this deck can utilize just holds it back so severely, because you're having to set up double Tox. If your opponent focuses down your Tox, you're basically buggered. You know, like, it just feels like this deck falls short in so many areas. I can see the appeal, though. This deck does have a lot of appeal. But I think, personally, if you want to play a Tox box, just play Sharpedo. It's so much better. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the Toxtricity box deck today, and I'll see you next time.